Hey everybody, it's Sherry from the Rustic South. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to be making some fabric carrots. There's the pattern on the screen. It's 3 inches at the top, 10 inches from top to bottom. And we're going to be using a tea-stained towel that's been doubled. Okay, so you're going to trace this. Now I made 5. I like making things in odd numbers. So you're going to trace this with a pencil, or if you have one of those fabric markers that disappears, get it out. So on the trace line, so the trace line is going to be your glue line whenever you get done tracing however many you're making. Okay. So yeah, so there we go. Your trace line will be your glue line, so cut it about 1/4 of an inch bigger than the trace line, okay? So you're going to leave some extra there along the edge, so you're going to use those trace lines as your glue lines again, all right? So let's cut them out. No, I'm not going to sit here and show you how I cut all of them out. So here we go with the glue. Put it on your trace line again, right? Make sure you have your pattern the way you want it. And then we're going to end up turning them inside out because I didn't want to see the edges on these carrots. So if you don't mind seeing the edges on these carrots, then by all means don't worry about turning them or leaving extra on the sides if you don't want. It was a little bit of a pain in the bottom, yes, to push those very teeny points through. I did not get them totally pushed through, but you know, I did my best at getting it done without poking through the end. So yeah, so get you a dowel stick or a skewer or something to push that cotton in there. And when you're doing the cotton, be sure to not make big pieces, right? Tear it into smaller pieces so that when you push it in, it will be friendlier, if you will. Okay. So yeah, stuff your carrots, stuff them as full as you want them. But I'm going to be sewing some, I guess you could say carrot characteristics, if you will, onto these carrots using some dark brown embroidery thread. So I stuffed them pretty full, but not so full that they won't, you know, it can't be manipulated or folded or bent or, you know. So stuff them as much as you want. Yeah, use your skewer stick to stick it down in there. And leave a little bit at the top because we are going to be gluing a carrot topper to it with some other fabric. So I don't stuff them 100%. So there they are, and I have done 3 of them. I've done the embroidery thread on 4 of them, sorry. And we're going to now do the last one. So let's see. So you're going to tie a knot in one end. I doubled my thread, as I'm showing you. I put it through a needle that has a really big eye because I like to use it. And when you put it into the carrot, you see how I have it on an angle, right? So you're going to push it in on an angle. You're going to, on that side where it came out, you're going to move the needle over a little bit. You're not going into the same hole, and you're going to come back through near where you started the first time. And you're going to continue to do that over and over, all the way up, depending how many you want to put on your carrot. And I don't mind that the knot is showing. That's fine. Again, it's part of the characteristics of these carrots. So we'll see. And then when you pull it through, pull it kind of taut so that it makes little indentations in the carrot, you know, because you know carrots aren't exactly perfect. So yeah, see, pull and make it tight, but don't pull it so tight that you're going to pull it through the fabric, right? So just continue to do it up and down. Now I did it in only one direction. I went up from the bottom, and I think I put like 4 on each side, maybe 5. I think this one looks like it has 5. I think it has, yeah, this one, I think one side may have 5 and one side probably has 4. So I cut it off and then I tie it in a knot in the middle of the carrot, and I just stick everything down in there, right? Okay. So there's the 5 carrots. And yeah, the needle I use is pretty big eye on it. And there's the embroidery thread that I used. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Again, there's the carrot. So, okay, so the end of the carrot is 3 inches wide, right? We know that, or approximately 3 inches wide, because we do have seams that to account for. So now we're going to use this green fabric that I got at Joann's a few weeks ago, and I'm going to use these to make carrot toppers. So I'm going to make one side 3 inches, and I eventually do make a pattern for this because I was just trying to eyeball it. I think it probably goes down to about 2 inches on one end and 3 inches on the other end. Again, don't cut on your trace lines. Leave a little extra, right, for the glue line. Make that your glue line. And see, I'm just cutting at an angle, and I'm trying to see how, you know, what size I want. Yeah, so you want, the way I did it, I put the smaller end at the top of the carrot and left the bigger end, the 3-inch end, at the top of the green part of the carrot, okay? So there, I did it 3 inches at the top, 2 inches at the bottom, as I thought. And after a while, I stopped tracing it, but make sure, again, leave some room for a glue line, okay? And I'm not going to lie, it took me at least a carrot to figure out the best way to put these on so that I didn't burn myself. So I think I cut out all of the video of the way that I didn't. The one I did first was okay. I mean, it worked out fine, but I was trying to make sure that I did it the easiest way for viewers to follow. Okay, so here I go. So once you get them cut out, glue them together, right sides together, and then pull it over the top of your carrot and line up the seams with the side of the carrot with the side of the top. Does that make sense? I showed you a second ago. Line up your seams, and then you're going to put glue on the carrot, and then either snug or pull or fold the carrot like that. I think I folded it down. I was just trying not to burn myself. So please be careful with your glue guns. Have them on low if you want to, so that you don't burn yourself. I did not burn myself, but I don't want you to either. So figure out the best way if you're not following what I'm saying here. So either you scooch the material down a little bit or fold it down, the green fabric, and then put the glue on the top of the carrot and then refold your green fabric up, right? And if you have finger protectors, by all means get them out, okay? Hopefully you follow that. I don't know if I would for sure or not, but hopefully you can. And hopefully you can slow down the video and watch it if it's something you're going to make. And this is also the prime opportunity to stuff the top of your carrot more if you need it to be stuffed more. So here we go again. So I pull it back. This is time I pull it back. I put the glue on the fabric like I'm showing you, and then I just let it go and it falls back into place. So that's the best way to do it without burning yourself. Okay? You see me go. You see me every once in a while. It looks like I'm burning myself. I'm not. I came close. I always come close. Okay, so stuff some more in there, and then this is also the opportunity to where if you want to like grunge up the edges with like I get the file out there. It's best to do it before you glue it, because once you glue it, the glue will not let go of the fabric, so that you can like grunge the edge. When I say grunge, I mean fray it, right? So I would glue it after you've frayed the edges, okay? So here I'm going to show you how I'm going to finish it. I'm just taking a rather, I don't know, maybe a foot piece of twine, and I'm going to wrap it around like 3 or 4 times, kind of snug it in so that it, gives that little, waistline, if you will, on the top of the carrot. And that's what I'm doing. Right now, if you want more character at the top of your carrots, then you can cut the fabric if you want. I'd rather just left it alone. And here I'm just going to put a few little patches of some homespun on. I think 3 out of the 5 carrots I put patches, and I cut holes in them before I put the fabric on, because I like the little patchwork look. Now, what would be really cute if you wanted to is to go around the edges with some of that brown fabric and stitch it on, but I don't know if I have that kind of patience. All right, so cut a little bit of it, fray the edges, pull open the the patch a little bit in the middle, and then use some of your distressed oxide to grunge them up. Right now, I didn't grunge up the carrots other than coffee staining the tea towel. Because I really grunged up the rabbit that we're going to make in a minute, so I didn't make the carrots super grungy. And I also went out and bought myself a brown stamp pad. It was less expensive than the distressed oxide stamp pads. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I got it in brown. They have it in several different colors, actually, in blue and red, and I think pink. So I decided to buy one of those this time instead of the other one. There was like $4 difference on them, so I figured, why not? Let's try it and see what we think. So I did do the patches. I started to do the carrots, but it seemed to be like it was going to be a daunting task because there were 5 of them and they're kind of large. So I didn't really, but I could have rubbed some cinnamon on there. It probably would have really worked well on the fabric. So keep that in mind if you want to do that to yours. Cinnamon. And then it smells so good, right? Or if you want to use some other kind of spice, some allspice or a nutmeg or something. I don't know how well those actually do with grunging, but if you want a little more red, you could use paprika, right? I've forgotten I actually did the tops of them, but yeah. They turned out cute. Hope you guys give it a try. And let me take this opportunity to thank everyone who's been liking and subscribing to the channel. I am just elated. I appreciate it. And there they are, and there's the rabbit and the eggs we made earlier in the season. And here is the rabbit from Dollar Tree. Okay, so I'm going to show you now how I did the pattern, okay? So I take I take the piece of paper and I fold it in half. Okay, and then I take Mr. Rabbit or Mrs. Rabbit and I lay her on the paper halfway, put her halfway, you know, one half on the paper and one half off the paper to make the pattern. And then I traced her. Okay, so I put her arm, I made little lines for her arms and I traced her little body. Okay, then I cut it out. Now I did cut, see, she's perfect pattern for her, but you actually should make it about an inch larger probably per side because, and here's the fabric I'm going to use. About an inch larger around the edge, okay? And you're going to put that fold on the fold line of your fabric, all right? So you should add an inch to the side of this pattern when you're cutting it. And of course you need two, right? You need a front pattern and a back pattern, so I actually have to cut this again, okay? So, but then when I cut it out, it looked more like a jumper than a dress because I didn't cut sleeves on it. So I decided to change it up a little bit. And I went online on YouTube because YouTube is fabulous. And you find all kinds of stuff on there. And I found a website, not a website, a YouTuber. It's called Farmhouse-BC. And she has awesome tutorials on how to make grungy. Here's her little pattern that she had. So I went ahead and took a snapshot of it because she, you know, has it out there for everybody to see. So I took her pattern and kind of embellished and made it into mine and gave it sleeves and then cut a little V-neck in the top. So I liked the sleeves better because it didn't look like a jumper because I did not necessarily want this to be a jumper, at least not this one. So I do change it a little bit and put sleeves on it. So guys, it depends on how you want, if you're going to put a dress or a dress on it, or if you want to make clothes for it. That's what I did, if you follow that. But again, the one that I make, it's kind of tight on her. It's a skinny dress on her, to be funny. It's a skinny dress, so it's kind of tight. So I would add another inch to the side, at least another inch to the side of the fabric, okay? And working with these little teeny patterns is so funny. Gosh, I haven't done this. I don't know if I've ever done this. I've never made a doll or a stuffed animal. So I'm showing you the grunging of the rabbit. Okay, that's just done with brown paint. And then I rub cinnamon all over the face and ears and the arms. Okay, so now you're going to see her little skinny dress here in a second. It turns out cute, but it is tighter than I actually would like. I would like it to be looser. So I went ahead and left it. But if I'm going to do it again, I would add another inch or so per side. So maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And then go from there, right? It's kind of a hit and miss play thing unless you've done this a great deal, right? So I'm pulling her little arms out and pulling her little skinny dress down. You can see it's tight. It's tight, and then I decide to fold it up on the bottom. And yes, it is a very skinny, tight dress. So anyway, that's my best effort at making this for the first time. So I hope you guys enjoy and get a giggle out of it. But it turns out cute in the end. I put a little fringe around the top part of her dress, her skinny dress, if you will. So I didn't grunge her entire body because I knew we would be covering it with a dress. So I didn't grunge the center part of her body. I just did her head and her bottom and her arms and her ears, okay? And I debated whether to cut the feet off because I'm not a fan of those feet on there. And I also debated, and I also was going to try to stuff those arms, but those arms you cannot stuff them. They are only one side fabric. They're not doubled. So here's the little ruffle we're going to put around the top of her dress. Now I had already taken this fabric before. I was going to use it another time, and I had already had a ruffle in it or on it, and I did it with glue. So what I do, the way I do my ruffle is I squeeze the glue onto the fabric, like you see me squeezing it onto her dress. And then I will lay the fabric down and then scooch it along. You see me scooching it with my thumb there. Scooch it along because the glue is hot, so it will scooch, and is that a word? I don't know. It will scooch very easily and ruffle for you nicely. And that will also keep you from burning your fingers, because you don't have to get your fingers close to the glue if you're scooching it on the top, okay? I think I'm going to show you here again because there is no more gathers in that. And that's another piece of coffee stained tea towel. So here I'm going to lay it down, and then I'm going to scooch. I had to take that thing off because I can't scooch with it on. See how I scooch it? There you go, and it makes ruffles so nice. And then glue it closed on the back. And these scissors, I really have to get a new pair of scissors. Oh, I didn't want to cut. I have some nice Fiskars, but they need sharpening too. I don't know if anybody does that anymore. Okay, so glue it closed. We don't want any openings. Glue it closed so it looks like it's all one nice piece. All right, and now we have a cute little ruffle around the top of her dress, of her skinny dress. Hope you guys are finding that to be funny. Okay, and then I'm going to take some grungy safety pins. I almost call them clothespins. Safety pins. And I'm going to put them on the front of her dress. And this would be cute if you had something to hang from them, like maybe little bells, little grungy bells. I don't have any grungy bells, or I would have put them on her. That would have been cute. Or maybe some little teeny wooden flowers of some sort that you could like clip on there, or buttons, right? So here I'm going to make her a nose, because in the grunging process of her face, I ripped off her pink nose, and I don't really want pink on her anyway. So again, I get out this very long needle, and I had some, it was very hard to get through that fabric. I couldn't get over it. So I have some thread, not thread, I don't know what, yarn, I guess it is. It's kind of like furry yarn that I got at Dollar Tree. I don't know, back Christmas time, I think. And it's kind of a cream color, but it's fuzzy. So I like the idea of it for her nose. And I did the same thing to her nose as I did the other bunny that we did earlier in the season. I did the same thing. I just tied it in a knot on one end. I didn't even double this one. But I did tie a little knot on it, and you cut it off, and you can't even see it anyway because it's fuzzy, right? So you can't even tell where there's two knots there, and you can't even tell it, right? Because it's fuzzy. So I'm taking my brown stamper, and I'm grunging it because it's a little too bright on her face. Okay. Now I do take that brown, and I also rub it on her face a little bit. There's the yarn that I have. It's from Dollar Tree. I do take it and I grunge up her face a little bit, because where the mouth is on her face, it was pink. So here's a close-up of her. Right, you can see that her ears have cinnamon on them. Her face has cinnamon. And then I wrap some creepy cloth, if you will, from Halloween around her neck. And we call her done. I hope you guys are enjoying the video so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to be showing you a few more pictures here. I have several to show you. I just want to make sure you guys get a good close-up of her. Thanks so much for stopping by again. Please like and subscribe and share. It's so appreciated very much. Please leave me a comment too, okay? And there she is with the carrots. There's the top of the carrots. And then in a minute, you're going to see a vignette of several of the things that we've made this season so far for around this time. And none of this stuff I don't think is Easter related per se. So you're going to see a vignette, kind of, sort of, the different things that we've been making that can go together. So this next one here, we've made several things in that picture there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for stopping by. There's our grungy eggs and our carrots and our rabbit and our bunny patch rabbit, and our wooden carrots are in there. See you in the next one. Bye.